Hello, welcome back to the channel, which is my channel, obviously. Woo! Alright, everybody, so yet again another get to know me, which y'all probably don't want to get to know me, but I hope you at least think it's a funny story and relate to it a little bit. For today's, obviously you saw, this is going to be me telling you all about my first cop encounter, experience, ticket. Ugh, I know, I'm very bad. This was quite some time ago, actually. So I say, let's just dive on in. Yeah? All right. So I want to say 18. I was definitely 18, and I was actually driving with my best friend Kelly, and I didn't have a license, but she was taking me out to drive in her car. And we had done it a couple times. I drove her car around in little streets, and I was like, hey, today I really want to drive your car. She basically was teaching me how to drive, but we weren't really doing it in an appropriate way. She was just sort of letting me drive, and I was just learning as I went, I guess. And so I decided, hey, why don't we go drive on the biggest street in our city? Like, I can totally do this, because it was right along the beach, and I just wanted to feel the wind in my hair, and I wanted to drive next to the beach and be one of those freaking cruisers that was like, you know, I just wanted to be a freaking baddie, you feel? And so we get in her freaking bug, her cute little yellow bug that's a convertible, and we start driving. I start driving, and I don't have a license, so that can't end well. And we get on PCH, and I'm feeling good, and I'm making it. All right, we hit the end, we hit our spot, and I obviously turn around, and I see a cop. And automatically I get super anxious, and I'm like, they know that I'm driving without a license, and I'm also driving with a minor, because Kelly was 17 at the time. So I see the cop. I'm about to make a right-hand turn. My blinker's on, I see him, and I'm so scared. But he's in the left-hand turn lane across the street, so he's coming into the same street that I am turning onto. So I turn, and I say, okay, we're fine, he's not gonna get us. And we're driving. All right, I'm zooming, whatever. I'm starting to calm down, and then finally, I see him behind me in the mirror, in like the rear view mirror, and I get so anxious. In this moment in time, I'm shitting bricks. Like, I was so nervous. It's ridiculous, and I'm coming to a light, and the light turns yellow, and I'm close enough, but not close enough to fully make it, especially with a cop behind me. And so I slam on the brakes, but I'm halfway in the intersection by the time we start to kind of stop. But I didn't officially stop. And so I'm slamming, and I'm like, oh my God, and I was in the middle of the intersection, or at least I felt like I was in the middle of the intersection. So I kept driving, and I knew in that moment, me and Kelly both knew that something was about to go down, and I just kept driving, and then finally we see he starts zooming past, and he's tailgating us, and the lights go on, and we are trying so badly to keep it cool and not hyperventilate, but it did not look good for Bailey and Kelly in that moment in time. So I pull over, Kelly's like, just pull over, and I was like, in my head I was thinking, oh my God, we need to switch spots right now. Like, we need to switch because I don't have a license, and I'm overage with a minor. It just is not okay. And Kelly's, this is gonna play a part in it, so I know it sounds random right now, but Kelly has really bad dry eyes, or allergies, or I don't even know what to call it. So her eyes get really sensitive and red. And so that will play a part in this entire story. So we pull over, we're stopped. I'm thinking I should just hop in the seat, she'll hop in this seat, and it'll all be fine. Obviously there's no time. He gets right out of the car and walks towards us. And, oh God. And so he knocks on the window, I roll it down, license and registration. I said, well, we have our registration, but I don't have a license. I'm learning how to drive. And he says, all right, who owns the vehicle? And we say Kelly, and Kelly gives him her license, and he goes back to the car. He can tell we are in a panic. And he was actually pretty nice about the whole situation, but he obviously runs all the info, and he comes back and he says, I don't really remember exactly what he says, but he just was like, this isn't good, this isn't okay. It's good that you're 18, but you're driving without a license, so we're gonna have to ticket you, we're gonna have to fine you. And I was like, oh no, this is not good, especially because Kelly's a minor, so they're gonna call her mom, which I felt so bad for, because I was driving her car. I felt so bad. But then also, I was at the same time kind of thankful, because I assumed, oh, my parents won't find out then. Like, my mom is not gonna find out, because I'm 18, I'm over age, so I can handle it myself. Because I'm an adult. Even though I wasn't an adult, I was a child. So, then a few minutes go by, and I see a car drive by. We see a car drive by, and it's Kelly's mom. And she pulls up behind the cop car and gets out of the car. She's furious. Obviously. Why wouldn't she be furious? So we're panicking. We both get out of the car, and he says, all right. So he was super nice about it. Don't worry. He was nice about it. And so we both get out of the car, and he says, all right. So you, Kelly, need to drive your car, but you're under kind of, what's it called? She wasn't allowed to drive anyone for like, I don't even know how long, but she wasn't allowed to drive anyone in the car with her unless they were over like 21 or 24 or something like that, as her punishment basically. So she didn't get ticketed, which is great. Her mom didn't get ticketed. Ticketed, is that even a word? They didn't get a ticket. And for me, he said, I won't charge you anything unless you get a license in the next 6 months. I was like, that's great. So nobody needs to know. It's all gonna be fine. I can just go get my license. I'll really push to get my license, and it'll all be fine. Nobody will know. So, of course, Kelly's mom was mad. It was a big deal. I mean, we got pulled over by the cops, and I didn't have a license, and it was Kelly's car. Obviously, it was kind of a big deal. But Kelly's mom drives me to her house, and Kelly meets us at their house. And she, of course, she talks to us, and it's a bad situation. So the red eye situation. When the cop called Kelly's mom, he was like, hey, I pulled over your daughter and her friend, but I'm concerned because your daughter seems to have red eyes, basically saying he thinks that Kelly's on drugs, which was not the case at all. She has really bad allergies, and her mom knows that, and she knows her daughter, obviously, and knows that she gets really bad red eye, like dry eyes or allergies. I still don't really know what it is, but I kind of get the same thing, but off topic. So that was the little story about the red eyes. Her mom, obviously, of course, backed her up because she knew what was true. And so he was like, okay, that's understandable, whatever. Now skipping back to, we're at the house and we're at the finale. So I think like a month goes by, and I'm just out hanging out with people, with friends, whatever. And I get a call from my mom. And she gets a $500 ticket in the mail under my name for running a red light. She is furious. Shit goes down. That's an understatement. Shit goes down. I mean, she's mad. She has every right to be mad. First of all, I kept it from her. Second of all, I got pulled over by the cops and I don't have a license. She was so mad. It's just embarrassing, you know? But, so, the whole situation was awful, but I ended up being able to pay the ticket because I believe I had money because I think it might have been like birthday gift money. So I ended up being able to pay. It was a $500 fine, but it's a good thing that I paid that fine and he didn't actually wait until I got my license, because it took me about 2 years after that to get my license. But that will be for another video, another time. That one's gonna be a funny one because it'll all play a part to when I got my license, basically. So yeah, that was my first cop encounter. It was very anxiety filled. It was a rough time. But I feel like everybody needs that one moment where you're like, shit, I regret that so much. But then it's something that you can tell. I know this is so dumb, but it's something that you can tell your kids one day and be like, trust me, I know I screwed up a couple times before. Don't worry. You're not the only one that's ever screwed up. I just think it's a good life lesson, a good experience. Let people know, let my kids know that their mom isn't perfect. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, so that is my entire cop pulled over first encounter experience. Thank you all so much for watching. It really means a lot that you guys have been supporting me and watching my videos, whoever you guys are. And I know that I reached out to a lot of you and asked for a subscription, and I hope that maybe this subscription allowed you to maybe watch some of my videos and catch up with me, even for people who I haven't really contacted in a while. So thank you for that, and I hope you all enjoy the videos if you do watch them. And yeah, I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your night, week, wherever you are, and I cannot wait for the next video. Thank you all so much again. Peace out, my scouts. Bye. Kick round,